Hi guys, welcome to this week's video. So I'm going to quickly show you how we've got this far with the little filing cabinet. Last week you've seen us doing all the glue ups, the milling and stuff to get this wood all together. This week is all the construction work, in other words all the dados, the miters, the biscuits in the miters. It was a mission. I promise you I haven't battled this much in a long time in my life. Just one pair of hands to keep this together, to do all the test fits, and every time you do a test fit you add a few pieces. So yes, to get this puzzle together with just one pair of hands, mission, I promise you. So I'm going to show you quickly how we've done this. Enjoy the video. Please subscribe guys, it doesn't cost you anything, but it means a lot to this channel. Enjoy. So I've cut the 4 dados now that's in the main 2 rails, and now I'm gonna make the 2 shelf size, because both of them must have this side and that side, as well as this, and the bottom must get dados as well for the compartments that goes in here. So let me quickly make these 2 shelves fit, then we'll do some more dados. So I've made the dados on this side, and then I copied them over to this side of the tray that comes in here, or the shelf. But now I'll have to do it on the back side as well, because there's another set of dividers coming in here and then another shelf. So I'm first going to copy these over to this side, make another 5mm dado this side, then I'll copy this to that one, just to make sure they're all exact. So guys, something that I definitely need to build soon is a sled for the dado stack. This is not ideal. So guys, for you it was a few minutes ago. For me it's the next day. There's another batch of logos burning for another customer. What I've done here, I've cut the dados bottom, top, and then bottom and top, because these 2 shelves will get the little dividers in. As you can see, this one and that one is a little bit higher than this. This needs to be finished at 270mm. I ended up making the 273mm, and those will be 270 because I want to still rebate a 3mm backing board on the back of this. So all the shelf dados is now cut, and what I want to do now is in the border on the outside frame, I just want to cut a very small little 3mm dado for the backing board. So I'm going to cut that quickly on the dado stack. Then the dado stack is gone and I can take it off, and then I can do these to final width. So all the dados are cut and they're ready for the cupboard that side. But the dados there and there is a bit tight, but remembering that I still have to sand these 2, and that will make them fit better. So I'm going to quickly take them through the grids, 120, 150, 220, and then make sure I get them to fit nicely, tight but not too tight. And then I've already clamped up the little in-between shelves. Then we'll then finalize. It's gonna go into these little slots everywhere. So let me do the sanding. I'm not gonna show you the sanding. Everybody knows how boring that is. So let me get the sanding done, show you when I fit them. So guys, I got them all sanded and fitted, nice and flush. They're still a little bit tight. That one needs a bit of persuasion, doesn't want to get in there properly, but I think there might be just a slither of wood in there or something, splinter. So now I can chop these two shelves to 270mm final and then do the final sanding and then assemble this part. Guys, now that I got the dados nice, fitting nice and tight everywhere, now I can measure the distance from here up to there to make sure I make my dividers the exact length that they need to be. And so far it looks like 350mm, which is exactly right, because from here to there it's supposed to be 340mm plus a 5mm and a 5mm dado. So far the maths work. So guys, now you can start getting an idea what this is supposed to be. So the same 3 that's in there, I'm just waiting for the glue to dry. I must put in 3 in there, and then you can assemble the whole lot. The dados came out nice-ish. That one is not so pretty. That one I must do some finishing on. But the rest of them came out quite nice. Everything is still loose, nothing is glued. I just want to double check first. Make these 3 fit. Then I think I must disassemble the whole thing, sand it, varnish it, and then assemble it and do a final coat of varnish. Because to get into these thin little spaces to varnish is going to be quite difficult. So I think I'm going to do at least 2 coats of varnish just on the parts before I actually start doing the final assembly. The next thing I want to do quickly while I wait for the glue to dry is the 4 miters. I think I must put biscuits in there just for some extra reinforcement. So let me see. It will be the first time I've ever put biscuits on a 45. Let me see if I can ruin it or not. So guys, I've taken El Cheapo here and I set it to a number 10 biscuit, which is the medium size one. And I've cut it after I've first taken some parts off and whatever. I'll show you now how I've cut it, but the setup is something like that. So I can't take a much bigger biscuit than this because I'm scared I'm going to get reference marks on the other side after a few years. So I didn't cut too deep, and I must say, for the first time in my life I've done a biscuit joint on a miter, and I'm quite happy. So I think that will add a lot of strength to this joint. I'm happy. Guys, just to show you quickly, that was a bit fast and you didn't see the hyperlapse. If you see my marks that I've made that I matched on the other sides, you still use the biscuit joint as mark, center mark on your mark when you cut it. So it works actually quite nice. I'm impressed, and I think this is going to add a lot of strength to this joint. So those biscuits is going to help a tremendous amount to line up these corners. They've got now biscuits bottom and top, and then also this row of little dividers is in. I'm just waiting for those dividers to finish drying. I'm just quickly making for Sasha, my daughter, a few groom buddies again. But I think that is it for now. As you can see, I've got lots of sanding wherever the clamps and the made marks, and milling marks of course everywhere. So that I'll clean up all with a hand plane before I assemble. I'm happy so far. Tell me what you think, please comment.
All I wanna be, I know you,
guys, you've seen me now square up the little last 3 dividers. What I've done is I've put them through the drum sander until I've had a thickness that is very tight in the dados. I then squared up one side with a plane, one side with a miter saw, the next side on a table saw, and then the final on the miter, final size. You've seen me do all that, I showed you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the 3 grits of sandpaper now with them until I get a perfect fit. I'm going to concentrate more on the 120 grit until I get a nice equal thickness and that fits in the dado without too much force. Then I'm going to go to the 150-220 on these, make sure they fit, and then we take it from there. So guys, that's a small filing cabinet. That's all the loose fit work done. As you can see, there's one miter there that's a little bit open, so I think this board here must just go 0.5 millimeter shorter so I can close that gap there. The other 3 of them is closed very nicely. All the dados are quite closed, nice and closed anyway. Nothing has been screwed or glued or anything. This is everything still a loose test fit. Lots of sanding now to do before we can do the finishing, and then of course on the back we must put a backboard where we left a 3 millimeter dado. There's a little bit of white that came out, and I didn't have extra wood, and I didn't see my way open to buy another board just to replace those 2. So that's now the sizes: 340mm by 120 wide, 8 of them, pockets, top pocket 340 and then full width, and then the whole thing 270 millimeters wide or deep. So all the work, all the fitting work is done now. So all that's left now is all the finishing.